Thank you, Federico. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of all the diaspora organizations that have coordinated this event, welcome. We're delighted to have you here today and also watching us online to participate in the first Puerto Rican Diaspora Summit being held here in Washington, D.C. That many of you have traveled long distances to be here serves to remind us all just how timely this event is. My husband and I moved from Guaynabo to the States 7 years ago. When we made that decision, I promised my mother and grandparents that I would visit them often, which specifically meant traveling back to the island every 3 months. In the last 7 years, I've traveled to Puerto Rico approximately 30 times to spend time with my family, collaborate with nonprofit organizations, and to do what I love, plant new crops in the family's land. My most recent visit to Puerto Rico was 3 weeks ago, approximately 40 days after Hurricane Maria made direct landfall on the island. Needless to say, this visit was unlike any other. First, this was the first time I was not greeted by my family at the airport, since they had to travel out of the island to continue receiving medical treatment. Second, my crops were gone, completely devastated or destroyed. I was heartbroken for a while because my biggest dream is to someday spend time in that farm with my future kids, tasting our passion fruits, acerolas, coconuts, pomarrosas, and pineapples. It was hard to see the devastation in the island and in my family's home with my own eyes. Like many of you, for the last 60 days, I funneled my pain and frustration working from the mainland to help the residents of Puerto Rico. If there is something I am certain of, is that Hurricane Maria will not destroy my dreams or my commitment to my country and my family. And I am sure you're undeterred too, because you're here today. I encourage you to look around you, because there are very special people in this room. Here, there are Puerto Rican physicians who coordinated shipments of thousands of pounds of medical equipment to Puerto Rico, policy experts who coordinated humanitarian flights out of the island to provide Puerto Ricans urgent medical care, business strategists who have raised hundreds of thousands of dollars to purchase supplies for Puerto Ricans in need, and committed citizens from every walk of life who collected tons of water and food to send to the towns that no one was reaching. These are just a few examples of the commitment that Puerto Ricans, from New York to Texas, from California to Florida, have for Puerto Rico. We're gathered here today because we recognize that there is more we can do to help improve the quality of life of our families and friends living in the island. First, the objectives of the Diaspora Summit are to learn from policy experts about the most significant lessons learned from Hurricanes Katrina and Sandy. Second, to hear from our panelists about the priorities and opportunities for rebuilding and achieving short-term and long-term economic development in Puerto Rico. Third, and most importantly, to discuss and plan in our 2 engagement sessions concrete actions that we as individuals and the organizations that we represent can take together to be more effective in our philanthropic and advocacy initiatives. In these challenging times for Puerto Rico, let's make the most of this activity, focusing our proposals on areas of consensus, encouraging collaborations, and planning strategic actions. Before I hand over the microphone to Federico, I want to say once more, on behalf of all the organizations coordinating this event, on a volunteer basis, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you here. And now let's begin the first Puerto Rican Diaspora Summit in Washington, D.C. Federico, the floor is yours.